To the economy now, and the UK is on the brink of a long recession. That's the warning from the Bank of England, with new figures showing that the economy shrank in the last quarter. The Chancellor, Jeremy Hunt, says there's a tough road ahead, but he faces questions about the wisdom of tough cuts to public spending in his autumn statement next week, at a time when the economy is struggling. Our economics and data editor, Ed Conway, reports.
Rising costs, squeezed households, a sprinkle of higher interest rates. All the ingredients for a recession. The key metric for the UK economy, gross domestic product, fell in the third quarter. Not a surprise, perhaps, but statistical confirmation that the country is facing a tough economic winter. This chocolate retailer, one of many, seeing the telltale signs of a consumer slowdown.
I think every small business has been weathering a storm that doesn't seem to finish. So now we have interest rate, now we have, obviously customer demand is something really, really worrying. The only way that we can actually make it through Christmas is if it's more people decide to actually buy our product. So,
and is it feeling that way at the moment?
So if we raise our prices, maybe less people are going to buy. So we want to keep it as an affordable luxury.
The technical definition of a recession is when GDP growth, the bars here, drops into negative territory 2 quarters in a row. The latest data show it fell in the third quarter of this year, and the Bank of England is among many forecasters expecting further falls into next year and maybe beyond.
The Bank of England says that we are likely to be in recession. This is disappointing but not entirely unexpected news. And what we need to do now is to present a plan to the country to tackle the root cause of the issues we face.
This small business just outside York makes bespoke items for building companies and the entertainment industry. They're struggling with similar pressures.
If it was one single factor, then you'd say, OK, I can maybe shop around, I can look for a better deal. It's across the board. It's material costs are going up, transport costs are going up. All our suppliers are putting up their prices.
On top of the squeeze from inflation and interest rates, the Treasury is also poised to add to the pain next week, though there's some question marks about how they'll justify it.
You would concede that it is to some extent a subjective thing. Whether there's a black hole or not depends on whether you want to follow particular rules.
Well, there is some choice over the rules, what are called the fiscal rules that you choose to follow. When we produced a fiscal statement that didn't show how we were going to bring our debts down over the medium term, the markets reacted very badly.
You might have detected a subtle dig there at his predecessor, Kwasi Kwarteng, and frankly there'll be more of that to come. The idea that this eye-watering black hole is a consequence of the last lot. Now, some would say that's ridiculous. Some would say that when you're in the teeth of a recession, cutting spending, raising taxes are the last thing you should be doing.
The deficit's eye-watering, the chocolates are mouth-watering. The economy is now underwater, maybe that way for a while. Ed Conway, Sky News.